Do a roll call. Delmer?
Here.
Linda?
Here.
Johnny?
Here.
I'm here. We'll have a quorum. Okay, the adoption of the October the 8th agenda.
I move we adopt the agenda. Second.
Okay.
Aye.
Okay, on the September the 10th, regular scheduled mayor's meeting, do I have a acceptance of the meeting?
1 second. Any question?
I'll second.
Okay. Delmer? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Do I have any questions on the financial?
I need to Lisa later. I'll talk to Lisa later.
Do you have any questions, Delmer, on the financial?
No, I don't think I just clarified it, but it's all right, I got it clear.
John?
I'll make a motion to accept it.
No questions.
Okay.
Linda made the motion.
I'll second.
Okay.
Aye.
Aye.
Got a roll call.
Hang on. Delmer?
Yeah.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so take it. Do I have any remarks from the council members? Linda?
Well, again, I'm gonna come right back to the little issue right there on Old Sinking Creek Road. I've had some people come to me. Also, I think Judy and her husband had some little bit of complaints about that. Is there not any way, I've been thinking about just buying a bag of cement, filling it in myself.
Okay, I talked to the water department Friday. They have got me the riser for the water. There's a water valve right there. It's got to come up.
Right?
Okay, that's got to be dug out because that's all filled in. The tile underneath the road right there.
Well, it's sticking up so high, can they not just attach a pipe to it and cap it off?
Well, the pipe's sticking up out of the ditch that far, so you gotta open the ditch up and you gotta put a tile in there, add on to it, then you got a blacktop over it.
Well, however it has to be done,
I'm gonna get it done.
okay, all
Get it
right.
done. It just takes a little time to go through this political state of it. But Billy Pickle is gonna take care of that one for me.
All right.
They'll dig it out, since it's already stopped completely up.
It is.
Normally what happens is if you have a tile stopped up, the fire department will go in there and take the water hose and blow that stuff out.
Until it gets away.
Open up that drain.
Open up the,
Drain there.
yeah, the
But
culvert.
that'd probably mass shut on the end from so many trucks going through there, it's probably totally mass shut.
Well, you're supposed to go by the yellow line that Tom painted on there, you're supposed to swing out.
Kind of.
Anyway, that's been addressed. It's, Eddie Simpson and them boys, they help us out a lot. They do a lot of ditches and stuff, and
Is that the city's responsibility or their responsibility?
it's on the state, and then some of it is theirs, but out of respect for us, Billy we don't have the equipment to do it, we'll dig it out or whatever, and they'll do it for us. They've went and done some, going up Sinking Creek Road, they've cleaned out some of the ditches up there and fixed a couple of people's tiles, just out of the kindness of it.
Well, you tell them, Billy, we appreciate that.
Johnny, you have anything?
No, sir.
Delmer? Okay, the old business, the update on the lawsuit with the Greenback Fire Department, Tom, from the last court appearance, we were told to go back and do our discovery. And we have finished ours, which means a list of all the people that have talked about it, said something about it. We give them all that information. One of the things that we cleared up was the lawyer for the city, who was also the lawyer for the fire department, said he was not the attorney for the city, but I produced a check that was written to him on December the 20th. So, it looks like he lied before the court down there. So, I hope the people in the town realize that the more you push me, the more I have to dig to verify that the city is within limits of what they can do. And that's what I'm going to do by the law. And I've got the proof, and I give that to the proof. I sat with the auditor today, and what she asked me, I said, lady, I ain't lying for nobody. So, anyway, that's where we're at. We've got our portion of it completed. Street signs. The street signs are ready. They are stamped out and they're processed, and all I've got to do is go down to Loudon and get them put up. The downtown pavilion, there's not too many young volunteers.
Yeah, but you had David and Roger and Hammer, so that was.
We had, Roger and Bob and myself and David across the road, who has been kind enough to put a camera up to keep track of what goes on at that park.
This guy lives in the brick house.
Yeah. He called me, he said there was a white SUV there at 11:30 at night and at 2:30 in the morning. I said, I appreciate that. Give me the picture. So, we got people that are taking interest in it. The pavilion, we've got the roof on it. So it'll be in the dry. I don't know how much shade, depends on what time of year, I guess it is. But anyway, if you stand underneath it, you get a draft, it's cooler. It'll be a whole lot easier on them kids, and especially the mothers over there watching. And Gloria here has donated us a set of horseshoe things to put up over there. And we'll get them put up. I don't know how many kids can push in horseshoes. We may have to get some plastic ones, but for us older dudes, we might throw a few horseshoes. But anyway, we've had a lot of comments, fantastic comments about the pavilion and how it's looking. And a lot of them are tickled to death with it, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to help the town, get us going, and I've got we just got to get some more people, younger people. I had one guy that was crippled, and one guy that was a grouch, and I had to go get him a cup of coffee. He said he'd be home, he'd be ready to go. That wasn't right.
First cup of coffee.
Yeah, I went over to the corner and chewed all them guys out when they asked me what I was doing, and I said, well, I'm waiting on you all. But anyway, okay. We have the second reading of the rezoning of the property on 411 Highway. And it passed on our first reading. So we're here tonight to address that issue for the second reading of it. If anybody has any remarks about that or dislikes,
Why y'all ain't looking at me?
well, my neck hurts to the left. But anyway, you know, it's a good thing that we can laugh and go on. It's just,
It's different.
yeah, it's different. But,
I'm glad we do.
Yeah.
well, I make a motion that we take the second reading.
I'll second.
Yeah. Devin?
Aye.
Aye. So good, passes. That'd be good. That may be some more money for us.
That's why I was hoping.
And I'll read you this letter.
Yeah, I got some comments on that.
I always like to read these kind. This is from Robin Blankenship. As you know, my house is the only house on the block with the kids' park. I know there are a lot of other things you would like to do for the kids' play area, etc. Eric and I would be willing to sell our property to the city for $200,000. And then the city would own the entire block and be able to expand the play area and etc. It's just an idea, not a necessity for us to move. Just thought we would offer. That's very kind.
I'll make a motion, we give me the counter offer.
Can I offer?
Uh-huh.
Well,
I don't think that's on the agenda for the vote.
No.
It's just information.
no, we gotta figure out how that house was bought for $501. That goes back to saying, if you push us, we have to dig up. We have to defend ourselves. And you find things. Which could have been, all this could have been avoided when I first went to Ronnie and asked to end it. But that's the way it goes. So, I'm gonna try to do what's best for the city. And I'll take all input that I can get, and I'll listen to you. And if it comes down to a vote, then I'll bring it before the members here. But right now, we are going by the law. And I will not say anything bad about the fire department and the guys that work there. They're the ones that put their life on the line. And we need them. We need the rescue squad. I would give anything to see the two units work together. And I'll let that stand. But it was brought to my attention about the event coordinator, who is Wendy. Wendy called me and was wanting to make a co-chairman from Angie Valspire.
Valpak.
Valpak?
Valpak.
Okay.
Yeah, I get it wrong every time.
Well, Valerie had come to me wanting to do a fundraiser to raise money for the handicapped kids to buy something for the
Playground. Park.
It's all right.
Okay.
Or handicapped children are concerned about, I guess, having blood, and I said, fine. But, it's in our ordinance, or that they can only be one person. So, I'm gonna make a motion that we let
Go ahead.
Valerie,
Angie.
Angie, be your assistant. I just kind of lost it when,
She's
you
got.
talk about kids.
Well, can I speak to it just a
Yeah.
second? So the reason that, but the reason that, we have an events team, there's probably 7 or 8 of us that plan all of the events for the town. And it may just seem like a flitty little thing, but these are people who are very, very dedicated and put in hours upon hours upon hours to do this stuff for our town. It's very important to us that it becomes a lively place where people can find, commune with one another in the spirit of just community. And so Angie has absolutely run circles around all of us, really. I mean, she is just a go-getter. She has such a heart for this place. Her husband, she had him come down and pressure wash around the depot. He pressure washed the sidewalks at the drugstore. They've been picking weeds. They've put in work, not just talking, but work. And I just somehow wanted to recognize her for that work. And this is completely my fault. He has nothing, it's completely my fault. But I wanted to do a kindness, and I wanted to recognize her for that work, because she is not just another event member. She is a very, very, very important part of that team, and it's a team that has a lot of hard work. And so we can call it anything you want to call it. I don't care if we say official, unofficial chair. I don't care, whatever you want to do. But it wasn't a grab at a city position because I make $1, so she get 50 cents of that. So I'm just saying, it's not like a big, I can't spend money. I can't vote. It's not, we don't have any power, so it's not a power thing. It's just a kindness and a recognition. And Angie, if you're watching this, I would really appreciate you. But it's just doing a kindness. So I don't know how you want to word it, but she deserves some type of an honor. That's all I'm saying. She just does.
Yeah.
So that's why I called you and said I'd like to recognize her and give her some type of a title.
Can I ask you a question? Where in the charter does it say there's only one person?
You'll have to get Deborah on that, she pulled it
Because
up.
I'm looking at municipal authority generally. So you all are allowed to provide and maintain charitable, educational, recreative, curative, corrective, detentive, or penal institutions, departments, functions, facilities, conveniences, and services. So I don't know where it just says one person. So you might want to hold off on anything with this. If you want to, I would hold off if I were until you.
I think when we created the position, we created it with one person. And then
So let's go back to
she
the
picked
minutes.
up whatever, it would be in the minutes.
Yeah, so let's go back to that and research that.
Personally,
Because
It's in the
have
charter.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think so.
It is.
It might,
It's in the charter.
somewhere, okay.
Well, once again, it's not, like I said, it's not because it's not like she would have the ability to call somebody and go, I want to book, a service or, it's just a recognition. That's honestly.
Can you not appoint her for your assistant yourself?
That's what I did. I made her co-chair of
Okay.
that.
And the word co-chair.
But I could
you got
do-
a question mark.
And that's just because I didn't know what to call her. I can change it to assistant. I can
I
change it to whatever.
I think that, it being a group and a working group,
Yeah.
I think the co-chairs sort of divides it up and says you got 2.
Okay.
If you stay with one and you acknowledge her as an assistant,
Yes.
and
So should I
go
just call
ahead and
her?
acknowledge her just like you did as co-chair.
Right. So I could just do
Uh,
assistant.
That is
events coordinator.
something you probably would have the privilege and the opportunity to do that as a coordinator of the events.
Okay.
To elect you or get you or assistant.
So would everyone agree that I can then go on the web and change her to the assistant events coordinator for the city of Greenback? Is that okay with you guys?
I don't see any reason why we couldn't.
We don't even have that. That was just a name we put out
Well, that's just.
there,
Yeah.
She volunteered.
Right.
didn't
She did, yeah, and me,
you? Yeah.
we just made up a thing for me. I mean, honest to goodness, it was just like, what do we
Yeah.
do with Wendy now that we're here? So that's what I am, you know? And I try to be a very good steward of having a part in the city because it's important to me. But if she, basically, it was just someone that has worked tirelessly and endlessly and has a great love for this city and needs to be recognized by this city for all the work she's put in. That's all I'm saying. She deserves the recognition. I don't care how you want to do it. We can have an Angie Valpaddock Day instead, whatever you want to do, but I do feel like she should be recognized for the work she's put in.
I mean, if you want to have a motion on that and, second to your voting, that I feel like you can always reverse that at the next meeting if you find out otherwise.
Well, I make a motion, we make her, Wendy's assistant.
Assistant.
I would say that.
I would,
Okay. Thank you
Let me
all.
vote.
Oh, we got a
I'm
vote.
sure she'll appreciate
I
that.
second that. I vote yes.
Yes.
yes, I vote.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. 100%.
Well,
She needs assistance.
Thank you all very much. I appreciate that.
she's really dedicated to that stuff. I mean, that gal goes after it.
It's crazy.
But when she come to me wanting to do a thing to buy some handicap equipment
It's awesome.
for that park over there, that just touched me. Anyway, it makes you feel good when people step up like that.
It does. And they should, if you recognize when that happens, it may draw more people to step up, you know?
Yeah.
It's nice.
Make you feel good when you're over there working on top of the roof over there and somebody drives by. It's good, you know, shit's going on, so, anyway.
So you're voting to,
Make her my
Make her-
assistant.
rename her assistant
Assistant.
event coordinator?
Yeah, Angie, yeah.
Yeah. Because when you get down to it, planning these parades and these events like that, it just ain't
It's
happening
not
overnight.
easy.
It is not.
My personal thing,
Yeah,
I mean, if you got a half dozen girls that's working with you on something other,
Yeah.
do something to get the recognition
Oh,
out there
absolutely.
and help them to
Yeah.
know that they are more
Or
than
appreciate
appreciated.
it. Yeah.
And, but
We may have
it's just a matter of wording.
well, it is just working, that's all it is. But we may just have one of the meetings I bring everybody to, we'll just have a recognition of the girls who do all the work, you
That'd
know?
be good, that'd be great.
Good.
You think one of them wrote back to 150 kids herself for our letters at Christmas, responded to every 150.
Well,
That was
You know,
That
yeah,
needs to be recognized.
that's
and we need
huge.
to
That,
show
I couldn't
appreciation.
imagine, so yeah, we just need to keep those girls in mind.
Well,
Well, there's nothing wrong with bringing them down here and maybe have a news meeting here, take pictures of it, put it in the paper. Hey, this is what these women done for this little town here.
I'm thinking we give them all a pony and $1,000 apiece.
Oh, well, good thing right
At
on.
this point, all she paid for, that's what.
man,
That's all she paid for.
Yeah. You and Steve pay for it, it'd be okay.
All right, awesome, thank you, I appreciate that very much.
Okay. Citizens' comments.
we got any citizens here want to make a comment?
Can
I
bring
have
this?
a comment.
Okay.
So my comment is the website. So the website, I thought, please correct me if I'm mistaken, that we were going to have the agendas and the minutes on that website.
I came down last week and spent 3 hours training Deborah on how to upload things to the website.
Okay, very good.
So she is on that, the calendar is completely updated, the information is all completely clear, and she now has the ability to do that herself. She's just been so busy with the lawsuit that she's
Yeah,
not
she's
got
got a
that
lot of
good one.
paperwork.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure whose responsibility that was going to be.
Right, I need to get
upload that
information from her, so she was just gonna do it directly from here, but if she needs assistance, I don't care to come over and she can send them to me and I can put it on there, however, so we could always go through once a month and do that, but it's something that she's been planning on doing, it's just she wasn't anticipating the lawsuit and then the studies, the test that she's had to pass, the testing for something for.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has to do so
Yes.
much training.
Yeah, and so she's been in the middle of that also, and then her husband passed away. So it's just been a quagmire of stuff, but that is in the works, and I'm sorry we don't have that done yet, but it is coming. We also
There's
will
been
have
a
on
lot
there,
thrown on us just since we took
there's a lot,
office.
yeah,
So it's taken time to just to get to where everybody wants us to be.
Well, I
absolutely.
just didn't want us to pay for that and not utilize it.
No, the calendar part has been being used, quite a bit, so that's been handy. And things like our, we've got a blood drive that's gonna be coming up, that's gonna be on there. So we really want to have that public information, and you know, when we first started this, we were like, we want to have, when the meeting video goes up, we wanna have the agenda that was with it, that, and we also wanna have a list of everything that was voted on and who voted what way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So we
in
can
the
look back
minutes.
and see that in the minutes, yes.
Yes.
So if we post the minutes and the agenda, if we can get those up there, then we're good.
Yes, and then everybody can
Right.
go on there and see.
And
who
see
voted
exactly where
how.
it is, yes.
Yes.
I would also wonder if we should not have the financials on there at some point. You know what I mean? Just so everybody knows everything's an open
It's all
book.
public record.
It's all
so
public
you
record,
can
right.
Put on there whatever you want if the
Just to
financials-
create a space that is open public record to everybody.
Typically, I feel people want to look at the minutes.
Yeah.
To see how and what was discussed and how people voted.
Yes,
Because come election time, people are like, hey, they voted no, and I asked them, right?
right, exactly, yeah. That's true.
Well, the thing about it is, when Wendy and her committee get something to line up, they bring it to me first. And then I'll either say nay or, yeah.
Yeah,
And if I don't know the exact question of that, that's what these three right here.
yeah. Nothing's done without the mayor and the councils. You know, we don't just willy-nilly go out there and do it. We usually get it all together, have it all booked, and then tell them that it's gonna happen, and then we have to have it shoot us down if he wants to. So we don't feel guilty, you know, that's bad. On that note, about elections, is 2020 the year coming up that we have the elections for, city council members?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure. And if someone is interested in being a city council member, how do they put their name in the hat?
You have to go get a
Go
petition.
loud and get petition and
Okay, go loud and get a
get
petition?
their petition, get it signed.
Okay, I've had several people that just asked me that information, so I'll pass that along on how.
They gotta get 25 signatures.
Okay,
They probably have to
25,
provide proof of residency.
proof of
I would
residence.
think that they're in the city
Yeah.
limits.
Okay,
Get
You
their
just go over to
petition.
Loud County and get that card, and that card you go get 25 signatures. Better get more than 25.
okay,
And then
If it's someone who's new that's moved in, they better be working on it now because there is.
that's what I'm saying, I thought I would go ahead and get that information out there, just so people are aware of it,
Well,
because we will have an open
If
position.
you're not registered, even though you lived here 2 or 3 years, if you're not registered to vote in the city.
Yeah.
You're registered to vote.
Yeah, that was my question, that was my question. You do have to be registered to
You
vote
have to be
in the
registered to
city.
vote in the
Okay.
city.
It's not a
for
county
period of
election.
time. I don't know what that period of time is.
Okay, I'll find that out.
15 months.
Okay, I'll check that out. That's good. That's just good information to have for anybody, because I'm just like, I have no clue. Another question I was wanting to get an answer from council on is, what is the easement on people's property, on their property on a city street? I had someone ask me that. Do you know the answer to that? You know, like a road
Setback
easement?
lines.
Backstep? You talking about
Yeah,
backstep?
well, I just had a question that wanted to know, let me pull it up here and I'll just tell you.
Is that from the center of the highway to the properties, what you talking about, Wendy?
I'll read it exactly how you,
No, I don't think it's 50 feet. That's
I didn't know if we went by, if we went by Loudoun County Planning Commission standards, or if it was a different standard for the city.
It would probably be the DOT.
That, hell, it seems like that there are different widths on all the windows, so.
I know it.
Probably, all we gotta do is go look and see just exactly what's needed, and then you can come up with something. As to what
Okay.
they-
So what I'll do is get that information to, Wayne, and then have him look up and see what that is. Does that make sense? The actual question was, drum roll, while load. It says, what is the footage of the city's right of way on my property?
Where is the property?
On, Carpenter, on Craig's Chapel. In the corner of Gina.
Corner of Gina.
Gina,
Uh-huh.
Gina Road's probably a 30-foot one.
Yeah, it's a tiny road.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it's even that, because I own a house on Gina Road, and my property goes over in the other guy's yard.
Yeah.
He'll just have to come to me, I'll get on that map, and we'll figure it out, because, now, Mateer,
Mhm.
if I ain't bad mistaken, I just purchased 2 houses there. It's 55 foot.
Okay. But it's a wider road than that.
Is that from the
But-
center of the highway?
Yeah. I mean, no, the whole thing is 55 foot wide,
Right.
From one end of the highway to the other?
across the width.
Okay, from the center of the highway, how much, are,
We don't really have a set amount of footage. They will be, they're all different.
well, I know how much when they come by paving, you can call Loudoun County, they can actually tell you
Well,
what it is.
That's, you're talking about county roads, so.
No,
They
no.
know, they know what their county roads sets on. We probably know what ours sets on, but we don't remember it.
Okay, so it should be written down somewhere.
It's,
Well, the road going between the museum and the old co-op building, that's 60 feet.
out to that first chip, it
It goes
changes.
right on past Tom's
Does
house,
it go all the way through?
60 foot. It goes right up to that lady's front step.
Okay, well, we can figure it out, we'll just figure it, I just need to get an answer on that, so I'll talk to you about that tomorrow.
Yeah, they're all different.
Yeah,
So,
So it varies depending on location.
yeah. And one more thing, I'm just gonna pop this out there. This is nothing that is happening soon. We're not attempting to have this soon, but the events team has been topping it. We've had a lot of people say there are so many people in our area that don't have internet, and can't get online to see the stuff that's going on.
Well, if you've been to that,
I can't get internet.
Fort Loudon meeting down here,
Mhm.
that's something they trying to get passed through here.
That's awesome.
Remember?
Well, we have a lot of people that are maybe older in our community and have no desire to even be on the internet also. And we are trying to think of some form of signage that we could possibly, in the future, just keep in mind, we might get a grant, who knows, about having a sign like the Presbyterian sign up that has a scrolling of all the things going on in our area. So when people come through town, they can see all the stuff that's gonna be going on.
So like a marquee that's.
Like a marquee that's
Yeah.
scrolling, you know what I mean?
Yes,
Just
I
a
do.
little, yeah. It might say welcome to Greenback and the temperatures and the whatever, you know what I mean? But, that might be something that we could consider.
Well, even to get the info off that, they'd have to go buy it every day or every weekend or,
You can do
There
it,
it is.
electronically on your laptop and you can change it.
Well, if they got a laptop or a smartphone, they can access the internet.
No, I mean, the person running the sign doesn't have to
Yeah, I
go
know
there.
that,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I would like to have someone.
There is some action out there somewhere hitting their zone, and I don't know whether we voted to get one of those signs like the Presbyterian Church
Uh-huh.
is or not, but there was some checking on prices and
Okay.
what did, I don't know how far that business went. But that's something that has been sort
I
of
believe
dropped.
that, I believe the sign was actually very expensive, to be honest with you.
They are.
They are very
They are,
expensive.
yeah.
They are, and we I may talk to Christine and look at grants for that, but I just want to put a bug in your ear, just in case anybody happens to come across anything and do
I think the
that.
one at the church up here was 37,000.
Yeah.
Well then, let's just get one.
Huh?
Let's just get one. Just get it.
Well,
Hey, you
I don't
broke that
really know,
fast,
I
didn't you?
don't really know why this thing stopped where it is.
I just don't think it got progressed.
I guess it didn't progress.
I know it was
so-
brought up,
We'll have to see
and
what the.
I think we actually had like
What is out there
a
in
draw.
and-
Okay,
And it wasn't Greenback and it had a scroll and
yeah, it would just be something nice to have.
verbiage.
It would be one of the signs you could change it, and scroll. or-
Yeah, I mean, that's,
Yeah.
you don't go to it and do, I mean, if you do it remotely, you just do it, yeah. So it just would be something to keep in your mind that if maybe Christine is looking at grants, that maybe she comes across one that might do something like that. So we can just, if y'all keep that in your mind, if she does come by with grants and they say, what would you use this for? That might be something that we could maybe put our goals up to get. Okay, that's it.
Well, I would go back and see what we actually did.
Uh,
Or whether we voted in.
Thank you, Wendy.
You're welcome.
Don, can you remember when that was done? How far back that was?
I don't know what we do without you.
I want to say,
Still
At least a year ago, wasn't it? It's been since the last election.
I think so. I think I actually,
I mean,
I could probably go back and look at my paperwork and I probably actually still have it.
we, it might be easier to find than it would be different.
Something we can afford right now.
Huh?
What
We gotta see what we have already supposed to have done.
Where was the money coming from?
I don't think that really got discussed. We was trying to find out about it.
I don't think we voted on anything.
And it was an event sign that.
Yeah.
you could,
It'd be nice, but, you know, might be something we just check into, see?
it-
That's just
it-
a plug from your events.
Personally, I think it'd be money well spent.
Downtown Market?
Yeah, keep everybody informed.
I think it was there.
Post office and stuff.
All right, that's my part, anybody else?
Anybody else got any comments?
I got a question on the, going back to the letter.
Excuse me, could you state your name?
Oh, Paul Mingy. Going back to the letter, M-I-N-G-E-E. The letter about the property, can you expound on that a little bit more? Talk a little bit more about that. I know there's some stuff you can't go into or whatever, but the letter about buying the property next to the park, what's all of that about?
She just wanted to sell it to us, the
Right.
city, because she's got that house up there on the block. It's the only one on that.
So that's
And-
not something we're actually entertaining the idea.
Well, that goes back to this thing about
The lawsuit.
if you push, then you gotta dig stuff up. If you give property away, you gotta get more property to replace it at the same value.
Okay.
And about that time when that park came in. But when that park came in, that house on that property up there was bought by Tom Pillar for $501. Now, how you figure out buying a house for $501?
That's when they were living in.
So, but does it really behoove us to like pursue anything with that?
I'm not pursuing it, but when they push me, I'm gonna have to go defend this city, and I want to defend this city.
Right.
So if they wanna keep pushing, push me.
I think he's asking, are you gonna reply to her?
No, I'm just saying, from our perspective, with all the other stuff that's going on, and I understand if you get pushed, okay, here's more to throw on the pile of evidence against the things that are going on.
Are you asking if we want to make a counteroffer to buy the property?
No, what I'm saying, does it, other than if it get pushed, is there any point in it? I mean, do we need that property for anything?
I'm not
No.
pushing it,
No.
but they're asking me questions
Right.
about it, and I've got to answer.
Yeah, I get that, I understand, and you should.
And
I'm
when
not
you get
saying
into
like-
government grants and stuff like that, the state's gonna win any way you look at it.
So what was that property before?
The house has been.
Just the house.
It was-
The house has been there for years, the
But-
railroad run up
And the
through
railroad
there,
ran through there.
and the people got,
In a bad way.
yeah, and,
The lady's husband died and she lost the house. to the
Okay,
city.
all right.
The main thing is that right now, we can't buy anything because we are not eligible for any other recreation land grants because we are out of compliance because Mr. Peeler signed over part of the land grant that we got. So that puts us out of contention for any land grant whatsoever now.
That's what we're trying to,
So that's what we're trying to
That's
clear
right,
up.
that's right.
Right, and so
Right,
it
right.
probably, I think it would be detrimental and would not behoove us to deal with a real estate transaction with his daughter when we got him in a lawsuit. I think and it's something we don't need, so it's kind of like.
yeah, and
let's just
that's
wait
not what I'm
for it.
asking, I mean, is it?
It's not
Really,
something-
other than if you're asked about it or something, it's not something we really want to get.
No, yeah, it's
Yeah,
not something
I-
we need and wish we could have, but we can't, no.
Right, okay, I just want to make sure on that, if it was one of those things that some more of that land and was just kind of supposed to be in the cities. and
Right, got it.
It got given
I got it.
away and all this stuff, you know?
Yeah, no, it wasn't supposed to be in the city,
Okay.
so it's not part of the problem.
All right.
Yeah.
I think down the road, I think it's a property that I think the city, it would be beneficial to the city, especially since we updating our park that would actually be beneficial to the city. Whether right now the city could actually afford it or not is, you know, we got a lot of attorney fees coming up, so.
And we don't have the possibility of grants, you know, and,
Not yet.
right, not right
Well,
now.
I would think before you get to that, I mean, that's a pretty good chunk of property that that park sits on. There's still space to utilize to do other things.
Yeah,
I'll probably do more with that for now, not really worried about, you know, any of the extra property, and surely you can find some.
I'm not
closer
worried
cheap.
about any extra property. I'm worried about what we got
Yeah.
right here.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it could all been cleared up right off the bat. But, yes, sir.
I don't want to believe it, either the question, but I'm telling me, she can sell that to anybody though, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, that's what I think that's an answer we want.
You just want to give the city a first option, since
Yeah,
we've got
I mean, she
that
can
park.
turn around and
Yeah.
sell it to anybody.
Yeah,
Excuse me, sir. Could you state your name?
Tom, Dean, D-E-A-N.
That's the reason I want to put the podium up there, put a paper up there, anybody wants to say something, put your name down, and you can do your job.
Yes.
Another quick thing that I have to, is it possible, I know on Chilhowie Avenue and, is that Tennessee Avenue, I guess it comes off of that. Everybody that lives around there has had a problem for quite a while about people not stopping at the stop sign right in front of Miss Bailey's house that babysits. People don't stop at that stop sign that's on the Willis's property right there. You can see it, but nobody stops. Is there any way that maybe we could paint on the road a big, you know, stop thing or something? I don't know. Because everybody's got a problem with that. We stand out and we yell at people all the time.
there was a big problem with that the other day, but.
Yeah.
Somebody almost wrecked.
That little kid, boy did, yeah.
And
They
then
ran
the
off the
kids
road.
right out there, if he'd ran over the other way, he'd have a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is bad.
That's been a problem for years, and I've actually talked to the sheriff's department, you know, deputies and stuff, especially like after ball games. Now, you don't have that problem as much, but I've talked to them, and as a matter of fact, I have a relative that's on Loudoun County Sheriff's Department, and he was sitting in my driveway, and I'm like, watch this. And somebody, lo and behold, just like it's a curve.
Yeah,
I think they're doing that because they shut the gates to that road. It's-
so they don't think it's a,
I
yeah,
don't think
yeah.
it's necessary for a stop sign because there's nowhere else to go with, except through the school gate that's locked. You know.
Well, if you're coming up Tennessee Avenue, you're at a dead end and everything, but I mean,
That's
they
true.
don't come even to a slow rolling stop. I mean, a lot of times they're taking this corner pretty good. And when you got little kids sitting out there, you know, she babysits, so she has kids that are out there on a regular basis and everything. And like last week, there was an incident, and they were actually coming the opposite direction and took that curve when they hit that last speed bump. Were out of playing Fishdale and went off the road into somebody's yard. They got lucky they didn't hit the power pole or the trees that's there on the corner.
Well, the patrolling has picked up in Greenville.
Mm-hmm, it has.
Yeah.
I'll talk to Tim.
Get somebody to sit over there for a bit,
Yeah.
yeah. That does work.
Now, they come out that road there quite often. They sure do. Of course, Roger lives over there. They come through there quite often, don't they?
Yeah, they gotta be there.
They gotta be there. You can't be there all the time.
Yeah.
Correct.
So,
That's
But I, you know, kind of devil's advocate, some people say they can't see the sign because of the tree that's there or something. Is there, I mean, just something that's more visible for people to see it and know, or I mean, is there, I don't know what to do. I mean, it's a problem.
Well, it's not just you, because that's been on Facebook several
Yes.
times from people in
And
the
that's
area.
kind of why I'm bringing that up.
Definitely not.
And there's some other areas that are like that as well. That's not the only spot, but that's a pretty bad one. You know, especially in that area, if we're doing more with the park and trying to make it nicer, you really want to slow people down that are all going to be driving in that area. You got the speed bumps, which help some, but it's really more when people are coming up Tennessee Avenue and they go to make that turn, they don't stop at that sign. Was that McTeer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's McKeever coming into the job.
Yeah, okay, there you go, yeah.
okay, the speed bumps.
Are they there? You hate this.
They're there.
Yes.
But I got with the attorney for the state. That's a huge, huge liability for the city. Unreal. And a perfect answer to that is on Craig Chapel Road. The gentleman that lives there moved here from New Jersey, and he had a speed bump in front of his house. Buses are long. When the front wheels goes over, the back's gotta come. But this guy's already shifted gears, and here's a kid with a pencil in his hands, and I believe I brought this up to her.
They were worse.
And
They were narrower and higher. And when that happened, he had to cut them down.
The kid-
and wider.
had that pencil and went up here and put the other kid's eye out.
Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah, that was a huge lawsuit.
Yeah.
And the gentleman that lived down there, he said at 2 o'clock in the morning, that city was out there taking that speed bump up. Now, I think Lisa was instrumental in the cameras. And I brought it to her attention that those Loudoun County would be liable for it. And I think they put the cameras on her then.
Yeah, and then I talked to Tom about that, and he had to, because they weren't within the
At the time.
guidelines of what an actual speed bump should be. So
At
he
the
had
time,
to shake it
it
off,
was-
because they were narrower and very tall. And it was terrible, so
Well, at
he,
the time those speed bumps were put in, the first ones, I refused to run school buses across them.
yes.
Could we do something like a reflective painted line and the word stop? I mean, just to like call attention to it? Would that make a difference? Would that be an easier solution?
What his problem is right there.
It is bad.
is Roger said he liked the speed bump. Well, well, the first ones were 14 inches wide, 7 inches tall. You and Tom said that his buddy had a Corvette, and he could go across it at 30 mile an hour. Well, my son done a good job down there welding up hitches and oil pans and everything else. Well, then he added it on more. Then he added on more. And it done exactly what the state attorney said. You created a speed bump, but the kids get faster than they get airborne.
Yeah.
All Roger hears over now is when the front end hits the daggone thing because the kids are getting to ramps. They said you have to go by the state and do a state comes out and does the count. They monitor it. Then you have to get their permission to put that speed bump in. Nothing was done. There was a petition that I brought to them with 79 names on to take the speed bumps up on Craig Chapel Road.
Correct.
And he looked at it and he said, half these names are fictitious. After the meeting, there was 3 guys holding me out here and another 2 guys holding my buddy Ed. We was gonna whoop somebody. I'm not gonna have a line, and it made them people look bad. I mean, he was calling them a liar. 79 names is a lot. And I had a gentleman that had a crippled child. To hit them speed bumps, he had to put her head in there and brace her. But half the names are fictitious. So, they may come up, I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, anybody else got any comments?
Well, just maybe if somebody can look into something like a reflective thing on there or something, just to, I don't know.
Is it anything that I can go to Loudoun County about and see, like Highway 11?
They may have some suggestions.
They've got this little thing they put up, if you're going over the speed, you're going too fast, slow down.
Yeah.
It's electronic.
Right, flashes.
Yeah, they got these things. Matter of fact, they have had them out here at the church.
They have, that's right.
Well, they had one in Biggins out there now, and I talked to the sheriff, he said, they quit using them Biggins because there's something about, on something that they steal off of, so I don't know what it was.
Is there a stop sign right there?
Yeah, there's one right there. If you're coming up McTier, it'll be on your right hand side, and the Willis is right there on the edge of there.
So is the tree
Is it-
blocking the stop sign?
Sometimes, when it's spring, summer, when the trees growing out, but most of the time, no, they keep it cut down, you can see it. and everybody that's around here knows that it's there, it's just, you don't care, I think is the problem more than anything.
Right.
And it's, a lot of times it really is predominantly younger people, but not just. I mean, you get some of the guys that have their trucks with their construction stuff on the back, taking the corner the same way, you know? I don't mind so much because I'm a little bit more off the road, but I worry more about Evelyn being there with the.
Well, you get one of those kids hit, I mean,
Yeah.
you can't have that.
Well, last year, one of the bus drivers that was there, had his sign out, everything, and kids were walking across. My kid was one of them, and somebody just come right around. Like the bus wasn't there, like there wasn't a stop sign there, and they come around sideways around and almost hit two kids.
Now, in that circumstance, the bus driver gets a license number,
Yeah,
turns it in, the state crew
Yeah.
will find that car.
I think it's one of those that happened too
Never
fast.
somebody,
Yeah.
he's got the camera to get that license number, and he has his bus properties fixed. So, yeah.
And that was the thing that I brainstormed, you know, doing the reflective paint, you know, if we could stencil that out or something, just put stop in the middle of the road or something, I don't know. I don't know, we've done everything as far as yelling at people and stuff like that. If,
There's some tax out there.
Start getting tag numbers.
yeah, that's what I was gonna ask, if we do that, I mean, do we call the sheriff's department then with the tag numbers and
I
stuff?
would.
Okay.
You
Well,
have
give it to me, I'll
have
take it
get
down
behind
there.
And you can sit there all day long and watch it.
Can we not,
If
can we
you
not
come
look
up with
to,
4 or 5
although we got the
tags,
stop
just
signs
run
on
it.
the side, in front of
Yeah,
our house,
right
have
to
the
it.
stop sign, where it's looking right at them, to stop and then turn.
She probably wouldn't want that on her property.
Well, I mean, just,
she might
You,
want
you
to.
can't because she's got the concrete little slab that's there next to the house that people park on, and then she's got her driveway. You'd have like one little spot for a flower bed to be able to put it in there, so there's not really, yeah.
I might even think video would be best, because of course, people are gonna
And that's what I
deny.
wondered too, if we could do like a, you know, like a motion activated or something, put up signs or being videoed or something, maybe then.
I think she
there's
could
a
do whatever
deterrent.
she wanted on her property.
Yeah, I mean, the only problem with that is,
Is it,
when they make that turn, yeah, you're not gonna get anything, you're gonna have to do this, then you're not gonna catch it running it, so I mean, you're just, I don't know. I've been brainstorming different things, you know, trying to come up with something, and really the cheapest thing as a deterrent was for painting it, that was the
the
only thing.
speed bumps had the big white letters and slow, that didn't slow
Yeah,
down, they just got by.
No, if you got them where it was crossable, it just, like they said, it gave them around for speed. And they just say it.
I don't know what the answer is, but I understand where you're coming from. And it's just kind of like the street signs disappear. Well, I just paid $700 to get the new street signs. They just keep going, and Billy Pickle says we've done everything, he can put razor blades on them. So, I don't know, it's just one of them things. If you catch somebody taking the sign down, confront them. But I appreciate your input, and I'll ask Tom or Tim down there about if there's anything they can suggest. But I appreciate all of it, really. And I think we're off to a good start. We can sit right here and we can talk and we can laugh and go on. But in the long run, we got the city at heart, and there's some things that are like the guys with the cameras, they tell me what's going on, and they just do that out of their own. So
yeah,
we're a little town, but like Wendy says, big heart. So we'll try to address it. Anybody else? I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Adjourn.
All right.